Hey Scorpio, welcome back to the channel. If you've been here before, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Priscilla Bernstein and I'm a soul alignment specialist. And it is my mission in life to help you align with what your soul truly desires. And with that, I help you alchemize every area of your life to be in alignment there. So this is going to be Scorpio's. We just had the King of Crystals upright in the middle of the deck, so that's a good sign. This is going to be Scorpio's September reading, and let's see what is in store for you, my beautiful Scorpios. If you'd like to book a session with me or a reading, you can do that down below. All the links are down below, and I would love to work with you one-on-one if you want more personalized support or help. But for now, let's get into this reading. What do my beautiful Scorpios have to look forward to this month? Strength reversed. What are the lessons that my Scorpios are learning? Thank you, Spirit. Ace of Crystals, Justice reversed, King of Swords upright, and the Four of Crystals upright. So the only one reversed there was the Justice card. All right, what is the spiritual guidance, please? These all came out sideways. We have the Emperor, the Knight of Wands, and the Eight of Cups. They all came out sideways like this, so that's how I'm going to read them. And then what is the overall energy? The Ace of Cups reversed. All right, I'm going to pull some clarifiers now for you, my beautiful Scorpios, and then we will get into your reading. We have some fires going on here right now, and can feel it in my nose and in my lungs. There's a lot of smoke in the air. All right, so can I get a clarifier for the Strength card? We have the Queen of Swords reversed. Clarifier, thank you. We have the Ace of Hearts or Ace of Cups upright. That's the second time you guys have gotten that card in this reading. Can I get a clarifier for this third stack, please? The lessons for my Scorpio or spiritual guidance. The Devil card reversed, and a clarifier for this Ace of Cups. Ooh, thank you. We have the Five of Wands on its side, and the bottom of the deck was the High Priestess reversed. So with the High Priestess, that's usually around your instinct and your intuition. Are you listening to your instinct and intuition? Are you following it? Are you allowing it to lead this month? Okay, Scorpio. So what you have to look forward to, we have the Strength card reversed and the Queen of Swords reversed. So interestingly enough, with these both being reversed, usually the Queen of Swords is about like, there's so much energy coming in right now, is about looking at things in a really deciphering way, almost like you don't trust what's happening. But because this is reversed, I feel like you're more in sync with trust, with your instincts and intuition, with your acknowledgement about what is meant for you, that you're just gonna know it almost, that you're not gonna have to overthink it or look at it and like dissect it. And then with the Strength card being reversed, it's almost like you're not, like you've come into your strength. You're not going to have to pull from the strength anymore. You're not going to have to, you know, pull that up and out or utilize your strength. It's already you standing in your strength. So this feels really good, Scorpio. This feels really good. So let's see what lessons you're learning. We had the Four of Crystals, the Queen of Swords, the Justice card reversed, the Ace of Crystals, and the Ace of Hearts, all upright. So with this, there may be, let's see. Your lesson is there's going to be some new beginnings in not only in your financial field and your physical reality, but changes with a relationship or with something near and dear to your heart. We have the Queen of Swords again, but upright here, and the Four of Crystals. So where you do need to be deciphering is going to be based on some place that is dealing with your foundations, your physical foundations, your work, your career, your home life. You know, we are stepping into Mercury retrograde, and that finishes on October 2nd. So don't sign any contracts during Mercury retro unless you want that contract to be flexible for its lifetime. If you're wanting for it to be steadfast and your foundation to be secure, wait until after Mercury retro to sign those contracts. And to really, you know, even if you're needing to have a really hard conversation around something, see if you can push it back until after October 2nd to where you can really, a lot of stuff won't be as misconstrued or misunderstood. Okay, so that is where you need to be deciphering are around your foundations, and you really need to be looking at things from a space of, is this exactly what I want? Is this aligning to what I want? Is this aligning to the vision of what I've had for my life and the container that I'm creating? If it's not, don't settle. Spirit is being really clear with that. Don't settle. Like, this is not the time to kind of, what they're showing me is like a kid playing in mud. Like, this is not a time to just like get dirty and get your feet wet and like play in the mud. What they're wanting you to do is be really like to acknowledge, and like if you think about a build site, right? Acknowledge like, oh, there's a mud pile right there. Let's not track all that into the house that we're building. Let's go ahead and lay some planks down. Let's take some precautionary measures, you know, anything where we're needing to be more quote unquote safe about, like taking the necessary safety measures. So how that can relay in your life is, you know, let's say this is like you're drawn to a person, but they're not showing up in a way that you are really holding space for somebody to show up for you. You know, have that conversation, and if it just doesn't feel 100% locked in and right, then walk away from it right now. You know, like that's kind of the safety measure for your heart, for what you're building, what the foundation is that you're building, for where you're moving. Again, too, if this is a job or something that you're like, oh, this is really good money, this could bring me that safety and security. If it's not what you want, it's going to really be, there's going to be an entanglement, and it's going to be messy to get out of. So that's why Spirit's saying, don't play in the mud. Don't try to like just get your feet wet and get your rocks off or whatever, just for whatever that short gratification is. But ultimately you're needing to look long-term. And if it's not in alignment with your long-term vision, don't even go there. Don't even step into it. Don't get your boots dirty. Okay. And so this other part here, we have the Justice, and then the Ace of Crystals and the Ace of Hearts. So with the Ace of Coins and the Ace of Hearts, or Ace of Cups, this is like new love, new foundation in your, like new prosperity, if you will, in your physical reality. And the Justice card could mean something around a court case, around something to do with the justice system, around a marriage, but this is reversed here. So don't look for, maybe just don't be focused on, even though you're looking long-term at your foundation of what you're building, don't be focused on this aspect. What they're showing me is like, don't get your cart, don't put the cart before the horse. You need to make sure that you have a horse that's gonna like have the longevity to stand beside you, if you will, and to go the distance before you get into this like conversation of like, how do we solidify this? Again, this can go back to waiting to sign any sort of contracts, anything that's binding, either through the governmental system or through the judiciary system, to bring balance until after Mercury retrograde. Okay. All right, and then so for what you, well, let's see. This is the spiritual guidance. We got the Eight of Cups, the Knight of Wands, the Emperor, and then the Devil reversed. Okay, so this is again telling me, don't let yourself slip into, I know it's easy to really slip in and like satiate in the earthly pleasures, if you will, right? Of, you know, money and sex and, you know, the short-term gratification of something. But with the Devil card, really that's about wearing a mask. It's about that superficial. It's about the short term. But with this being reversed, it's like you need to be focused long term. This isn't about what you're going to gain tomorrow. It's about what you're going to gain a month from now, a year from now, 10 years from now, right? We don't want to be focused on the future, but if you're holding and building that legacy energy, if you're holding a container for legacy energy of what you're building and working towards, the superficial is not going to get you there right now. This month, the superficial is not going to get you there. You need to learn how to continue to stay in your power and hold that vibrational frequency, not only of being the king or emperor of your life, but also like you're in your strength right now. Don't let yourself slip out of that and get caught up or entangled in something that isn't going to serve that long-term goal, okay? Then from there, we have the Knight of Wands and the Eight of Cups. So Eight of Cups is all about building your dreams, and the Knight of Wands is all about movement and momentum. So this is all happening this month. This is all being created this month. So really, really take care not to slip into those earthly pleasures of the short-term gratification, okay? And so from that, the overall energy, we have the Ace of Cups reversed with the Five of Wands, which is about conflict, right? So if something is not aligned with your heart, ultimately it is going to bring conflict. It is going to bring entanglement. It's going to be messy, and it's going to be hard to get out of. So Spirit's really wanting to drive home this point that you really need to understand this month. It's not about the short-term gratification. It's about what you're building long-term, and make sure that it is in alignment with your heart and your soul desires, with that future container that you're building, that every decision you're making is from this place steeped in love for that long-term vision, okay? And with that, that is what is going to bring the longevity. That is what's going to bring the long-term success. That's what's going to help bring and up-level you into that expansion that you're needing. It's going to help bring that energy behind you to propel you forward into that, so you're not having to kind of waste any of your energy cleaning up the mess of what that short-term thing was, okay? So I'm gonna pull Oracle message now for you all. Spirit really drove that point home. What Oracle message do you have for my beautiful Scorpios this month? Please, Spirit. What are my Scorpios? What else do they need to know? Thank you. Okay, so we got a few here. We got Rainbow Road, Paradox Prime, the Shadow Realm, the Rising, and Divine Feminine. So let's start here with the Rainbow Road, where I started. It may still be a little bit of lone wolf energy for you, but just know you're on this road of like the rainbow grid. You have access to limitless possibilities right now. You have access to the quantum field and to creating the life that you want. It just may have to be gone alone at this moment, which is not a bad thing. This is you getting really deciphering. This is you getting really clear on what it is that you want, what your soul desires. Has nothing to do with anybody else but you. And when you're in that frequency and you're holding that container really strongly, the right people that need to come in are going to come in. The right resources that need to come in are going to come in. The right, connections and, relationships, all of that stuff is going to come in. So just know it may feel a little bit like a desert energy for this month, but you're accessing and really building out your dream life right now. So continue to move forward in that. Then we have the Paradox Prime, okay? And so this is the paradox, is the more that you're focused on yourself, the more that you are embedded and steeped in what it is that you're creating, the more you are going to attract. And this is going to be the universe testing you to say, oh, are you sure you don't want this bright, shiny thing? Because we can give it to you right now, but remember, if it's not in alignment with your heart, if it's not in alignment with that long-term dream of success, of what you want, of the relationship, of the home, whatever it is, don't say yes to it, right? This is every time you are clear, not only in your worth, but you're holding that vibrational frequency of what you want and what you're deserving of. The universe is going to test you to make sure that you're not going to slip up and say, okay, I'll settle here, right? I'll settle for this because it's good enough right now. But every time you say, no, not good enough, try again, then the paradox happens and the universe will start to deliver you exactly what you want. All right. Then we have the shadow realm. There may be some of you going through a dark night of the soul, some of you really accessing new insight into your shadow self and the things that have been kind of a dark smudge on your life, right? But these shadows are actually our superpowers. These shadows are whatever has been made wrong about us that we've kind of like tucked away or hidden inside is actually something that proves to be really powerful in not only our message, but who we are and how we show up in the world. And it's innately and uniquely part of you. So it's about integrating your shadows this month. It's about bringing everything together and not being afraid to look at those things or those ways in which you might be in the world that were deemed wrong or deemed too much or whatever, but taking that walk down into the shadow realm, looking at it, making friends with it, you know, acknowledging that it's not this big, bad, ugly thing, but is innately a beautiful aspect and part of you that needs to be integrated once again so you can become this whole version of yourself, this fully, you know, integrated, faceted, multifaceted version of yourself. Remember, so you can reflect rainbows in all directions of that power that you're calling in. You're crossing a threshold. I'm getting to that you're like, whatever those first cards were about you be standing in your power and being in your strength right now, like there's going to be a learning this month as you get tested how to stay and stabilize and stay balanced in that. But you're crossing through a threshold where this isn't going to be a thing anymore, where it's just going to be like you shining your light super bright once you have integrated those shadow aspects of yourself fully. And from there, yeah, you're going to rise. You're going to rise up in your power and be this bright shining star in the world. And it's going to take less doing and more being in that divine feminine energy, being in that receptive mode. This has nothing to do with male or female. This has everything to do with what are you birthing? What are you holding space for? What are you allowing to come into your container? And where are you allowing yourself to receive exactly what you want? If it's not what you want, don't settle. Okay, I'm going to pull a moon card now for you, my beautiful Scorpios. And this is the energy that you're going to need this month. Balance. There it is. Your head can be in the clouds. You can be in dreamland. But remember, when something approaches you or comes into your field or your container, if it's not exactly what you want, you need to say no to it and stay balanced in your strength, stay balanced in your worthiness, stay balanced in who you are, and not let yourself steep into that devil energy, that superficial, you know, remember the entanglement, it's just going to be messy and you're going to have a lot of backpedaling. All right, Scorpios, I hope this was helpful. Please share this with another Scorpio if it was. And I'm doing extended readings now on my Patreon. So if you want to go a little bit deeper into this reading, hop on over to my Patreon and subscribe there. And then I will share a little bit more with you. See you guys on the next video. Make sure to watch your rising and moon sign as well to get the full overview of what this month holds for you. Peace.